Hello! I am looking forward to showing you some of the things that I create using Epicure. This is one of the things that I have for breakfast. It is the waffles using the waffle pan. And this silicone mold is super easy to use and clean, and it makes just enough for my family for breakfast. And I love the apple pie spice. I use that for quite a few things. It's really nice for breakfast on the waffles. This is another example of using that on the waffles with a little bit of yogurt, some blueberries, and nuts and seeds as well. For breakfast, I also enjoy having omelets. This particular one is flavored with our garlic and onion nutritional yeast, and I've also garnished it with some dandelions because they have a lot of health benefits as well. Another omelet, this one is flavored with the Montreal steak spice, and it's garnished with some edible flowers. I like to be creative and colorful in the kitchen. And a tea that complements that concept very well is our blue butterfly tea. It is a blue tea, and when you put some lemon in it, it turns like a fuchsia purple. So it's a really interesting tea. My kids get quite a kick out of how the color changes. And it tastes lovely too. Another omelet here, this one has salmon, and because it has salmon, lemon dilly goes really nice with eggs and salmon, and it's garnished with some sprouts that I have made as well. This is our chowder. I am on a high-fat, low-carb diet, so our chowder is a really comforting food, and instead of potatoes, I use celery and asparagus in it. This is our chili. Chili is a favorite around here. We use it in a lot of different types of applications. This chili is accompanied by a homemade biscuit, which was flavored using the garlic and onion nutritional yeast that you saw in a previous picture. I enjoy soups. I especially enjoy soups. Now this soup was going to just be a vegetable soup with the 3 onion and herb and garlic seasonings in them, and those are actually dip seasonings, but they can be used for many different types of foods and types of applications. So this particular one, I had some leftover cauliflower in the fridge, which is a little common around here, and I decided to make the soup creamy without the cream. And I just put in my leftover mashed cauliflower in with my broth, and it really kind of thickened it up a little bit. And oh my goodness, the flavor of everything together with the herb and garlic and 3 onion, it was so creamy and satiating, and it was just such a good comfort food on a rainy day. This is the French onion mix used in the broth as well to flavor a soup. If you keep chopped vegetables in your fridge, making a soup on a rainy day is just so easy with these products because your broth is so easy to and versatile to make to flavor it any way you want to flavor it. This is the French onion dip as well. I was making some bone broth, and this particular bone still had quite a bit of meat left on it, and so instead of just having the meat on the side, I decided to make a soup out of the entire thing. So French onion won for that flavor. Another soup using the vegetable broth, and you see the little tiny circles in there. For protein in this vegetable soup, I put quinoa, and that's what those are. So the vegetable broth is super easy to make, and a really good option for people who are vegetarian or vegan. I also love meat. So this is our beef and steak, and I made a stew. So I cooked up the meat, added the vegetables, and sauteed that until it was soft in just a little bit of broth. And then I added some flour to thicken the broth to create a stew. And this beef and steak seasoning is quite versatile. I use it in a lot of different ways as well, as you'll be able to see throughout. We have a salmon rub, and the salmon rub is nice on salmon. You can either barbecue it or saute it on the stove or bake it in the oven. And that's leftover salmon for me often gets put on a salad, because if there's just a small piece, it's not enough for a whole meal, so it's just a nice accompaniment on a salad. So cook once, eat twice. That's one of Epicure's concepts that they promote is how you simplify life in your kitchen. This is one example. And this is a chicken Caesar. Our salad dressings make 6 cups, and the cruet next to it makes it such an easy way to make dressings on the fly. You just put your ingredients in using our funnel, and you just shake up the cruet, and there's your dressing. So nothing fancy, very simple ingredients. If you look in the grocery store at the ingredients on the back of the salad dressings there, you're going to see things that you cannot pronounce the names of, and our dressings are very clean and very healthy. This salad is garnished with some sprouts. This is an example of dip. Often in the summer we do picnic plates. And this picnic plate, I created a dip using 2 different dips. I love to experiment using different combinations of flavors, and I encourage you to do the same thing. And so what I do is I mix them with a half or equal amounts of mayonnaise and sour cream. So you can go light or you can go high fat using those 2 ingredients. If you're going low fat, you want to be cautious and just double check the amount of sugar that is in your low fat products that you use to make your dips. So the dips are very versatile. You can use yogurt, you can use, like I said, mayonnaise, sour cream. There are a lot of bases that you can use to create your dips from. And that versatility is just so great, because if you have people that are on particular diets, you can create the exact same dip for them as you do for yourself, and it's the same flavor. This is pizza. We love the pizza spice, the pizza seasoning, and we use that quite a bit. One of the ways we use it, my kids like to snack on toasted cheese, and so I'll use our sheet pan and I'll just put some slices of cheese on it with a little pizza sprinkled on top, the pizza seasoning, and it kind of hardens as it cooks and becomes like a chip. And so my kids are Italian, the pizza seasoning gets used a lot around here. This is another example of a pizza option. We make any leftover waffles that we have, we just put a little bit of marinara sauce on the waffle, and then some cheese and the pizza seasoning, and toast that up in the toaster oven. And that makes a really lovely quick pizza lunch as well. This is how I like my pizzas as well. This is using a red cabbage, and that's sliced just a little less than about 1/2 inch. I put some marinara sauce on top and some cheese, and then the pizza spice, and it cooks at 400 for about 40-ish minutes. Depends on your oven and depends on how soft you like the cabbage. So this is one of my favorites to do. I do this quite often. This is the poco picante in the salsa, and it is in a taco shell that I made using cheese. And here we have potato salad made with radishes. I encourage you to try that out now that the radishes are so plentiful in the garden. And they don't taste the same when they are cooked. They don't taste like radishes. They're a really nice potato substitute, and they're much lower in carbs. So the steak is seasoned with Montreal steak spice, potato salad made with potato salad seasoning, of course, and then on this other side is the riced cauliflower done in Alfredo sauce. So that's a really nice, rich tasting meal. This is a pork chop made with Montreal steak spice and the green beans. I was amazed that my kids love this. They're very fussy about vegetables, and so this was a real hit. I put lemon dilly and Italian seasoning on them and sauteed them in butter, and so the kids gobbled those up, which was awesome. This is an example of meatloaf. We don't have an exact meatloaf blend, and so that's fine with me because I love to take combinations of different flavors. So for some examples I would do this meatloaf with just Italian seasoning, Another time I would do it with just the beef and steak seasoning. Another time I might use the garden vegetable dip, for example, with the Montreal steak spice. So meatloaf it has endless possibilities with Epicure. This is one example of meatloaf I did with using the beef and steak. And our salad here is dressed with either the balsamic vinaigrette or the Italian vinaigrette. It's one or the other. Those little yellow flowers are edible flowers that grow in the wild, and we just garnish our salads with that from time to time when those flowers are available because they're just so pretty. It just adds some interest to our meals. This is our fajita mix. Pretty self-explanatory. You can do that in the microwave. I don't own a microwave, but in the steamer, that is a super fast supper. If you're getting home from work and you need to make supper super fast, this is a real easy one to do. The mango curry is a wonderful dip. I really enjoy it as a dip, and it's also great for making an entree like this. Fish seasoning, that's popular for me. I'm from the Maritimes, and so having fish is an important part of my diet, and we have a really good flavored fish seasoning. This is our chicken and rib done on chicken, and this is the chicken and rib done on ribs. That is asparagus on the side, and I just sauteed it in butter, and then I topped it with chimichurri sauce, which is super easy to make. The chimichurri is actually a really versatile seasoning. I sprinkle it on meats, I sprinkle it on eggs, I just sprinkle it on different things. I just really love the flavor of that. And here's an example of another summer meal using the potato salad, and this time it has potatoes. Also, there's a beef sausage there. I get those at Superstore or No Frills. They're not flavored. So this one I flavored with our teriyaki seasoning, and the dip is French onion. This is an example of a meal with a burger, since I don't use a bun. And you can tell I love the burger sauce. There's a lot of burger sauce on that plate. So I eat my burgers with a fork, and this burger sauce is incredible. It's lovely. It's lovely even for just using as a dip for vegetables. And at a party one time, we had some people dipping their chips into it, and they said that it was crazy good for that too. So I believe them. This is another burger, the Tuscan Chicken. Now chicken is, when it's ground, it's very hard to shape into a burger, but we have a 3-in-1 press. I would not have been able to get the burger shape if I did not have the 3-in-1 press. And so this flavor was just so great. My kids, I was surprised, they insisted on having the leftover burgers for lunch the next day, and there was none left over for me, so they really enjoyed this particular flavor. I guess because it's Italian. Tuscan is an Italian flavor, so it's quite lovely. And this is our Asian stir fry. And this is kind of a go-to for me because there's always vegetables that are cut up in the fridge, and it's quite easy to just throw those in a pan, in a wok, and do up a stir fry. I hope you enjoyed these creations. I hope that it helped you to get the creative juices flowing, to come up with some ideas of how you can use the Epicure spices and blends that you have purchased. I am available if you need help with creating meal plans, or if you need some other ideas of how to use the products that you've purchased. Definitely reach out and connect with me anytime. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.